Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Game House. So you know that I like good stories, and good stories have chapters in them. And in the chapter, I always like to hear about somebody that I've met and their growth and what they've done with their ideas and how they've changed and evolved over time. And if you've been listening to the content that we have here on the Game House that I do, you'll know that I've done an interview with this gentleman before. I have Paul from Esport Works. We talked a couple months ago about what he was trying to do in the UK, how he was trying to bring an easier way for people in esports to get their portfolio seen, get them in front of people, get some interaction going. And so I decided to catch up with him again. The site's been up, the site launched, it's been updated, new features, new ideas. So I have with me today Paul, and he's going to reintroduce himself here in a second, tell us all about what the site is doing, all the updates, and all the fun things that he has planned going forward. So, Paul, all the way from the UK. So where I'm at in the USA on the West Coast, it's still the morning, but right now you in the UK, it's about 4:45 in the afternoon, getting into the evening. So go ahead and introduce yourself again to everybody.
Hi everyone. My name's Paul. I run Esport Works. We recently launched less than a month ago, and we're really excited to, be speaking to Bill and to tell you all about the new features that we have and the new features that we have planned in the future.
Very nice. So go ahead and give me a rundown of how things went with the launch. I've done it. I've been involved with enough of these that I know that it doesn't go perfect. It very rarely goes smoothly. There's always some hitch. There's always some problem that you have to fix at the last minute. So sort of talk about your launch and how things went, and then go into then go into the way things are now.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it is to do with managing your own expectations, right? Because everyone who has ideas of building something, who sees themselves as a bit of an entrepreneur, they always have these grand ideas. And I think a lot of it is managing expectations. So before launch, we obviously were sitting down, we were getting a lot of the bulk of the website done, and we were all really happy with how things are going. But a lot of that can be seen in a vacuum. Like when you're working on something every day, you start to warp your own ideas on what you think the site's like. So I tried to go into the launch without any real expectations. And I mean, it's gone well. It's gone as smooth as it could do. There's obviously things that you think of after the fact, like, oh god, we really should have had that, or maybe we should have had this ready for it. But the good thing is that it can always be fixed, it can always be updated and changed. And we were honestly a bit blown away by the amount of support we got straight off launch. People seem to really engage with the idea of the site, and there is obviously a big sort of like step in trying to sell this to people, because it's something that is kind of unique, and we've had a ton of messages on Twitter just asking like, what the hell is the site about? So that is kind of my job, to be able to sell it to those people and to let them know what it's all about. So yeah, there's just been a lot of messaging, a lot of trying to fix things that we come up against, issues that we didn't really know about until the site was live and people using it. And it's been fun. It's been a fun journey.
I bet it has. Okay, so let's get into some of the specifics about the recent update that you've put out. What's changed from your launch? What's changed from the site where it was at when you launched until now?
Yeah, so we made it a thing to make sure that it still said beta because, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a work in progress and there's still a lot of features that we wanted to implement and that we couldn't. And it was getting to that point where instead of delaying it for an extra 6 months, we wanted to launch it, get people's opinion on it, and then start putting in the work afterwards. So we recently, and by recently I mean this morning, released this morning UK time, probably like night time in the US.
Yeah.
We launched our first major update, and that included uh, an article section for the community who see themselves as aspiring writers can put their work out there and get comments and get feedback from people. We've also tried to condense a lot of the navigation around the site. So we've put a nifty little sidebar and added a lot of information on that. So you don't have to go searching through different web pages to find what you want. And the big thing which we're really excited to talk about is the achievements and quests that we've added to this. So obviously sticking with the theme of gaming, you can now unlock achievements as you're going through the site, such whether it be uploading a profile picture, messaging a friend, connecting to X amount of people. You'll receive points and you'll receive achievements that you can unlock. Those points will go towards a rank, and then the more ranks you go up, the more points you accumulate. You'll get free stuff from our upgrade section. So you'll be able to get a 30-day premium plan, which we could give you a plethora of extra things that would just enhance your profile. So yeah, we're hoping that it helps with a lot of the interactivity on the site, and it's something that we hope a lot of the users will enjoy, and it will be something that we can gain new users from.
Very nice. Okay, so so basically the changes I see on the site right now were done today. They were done
Yeah.
this day right now, right?
Yes. This day right now. Yes.
Well, then that's okay. That's fantastic to hear. So as far as the interactions that you've had with people about the site, you're trying to explain what the site does, what the site is about. How about on the other side, when you're talking to I guess when you're talking to larger entities, like when you're talking to, what am I trying to say here? When you're talking to people who might potentially be involved on your site, either as an advertiser, as a sponsor, as somebody who might use your site as a way to connect with other people in gaming for potential projects, those conversations. When you talk with business owners and other site owners, and they look at your site and what you're trying to offer, or what you're trying to offer, or what do they say?
Well, it varies because what we think we offer is just a lot easier for these companies. So they obviously have an outreach that's a lot bigger than ours, and they obviously have people checking on various sites for the best candidates for them. What we're trying to sell is that you don't have to do that. You just come here, you just come to our site, all the information's there, the people are here. You can search through by category, by people's skills. Everything is here for you to do. So when we're trying to sort of pitch that to companies, there's been some intrigue, some interest. I think people are still very skeptical of what we're trying to do for various reasons of their own. But yeah, it's a long road, and it's something that we hope a lot of companies will start jumping on, because although our site is geared towards the user and making it easy for them, that in turn also makes it easier for the companies, because they don't need to go around looking for various information about a potential candidate that they want to bring into their business.
Okay. So then when you're talking to these companies, how do you separate yourself from the conversation of, oh, so what you are is another job placement service? Whoa, 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 whoa. What is your value proposition that is different from standard job sites?
Well, standard job sites, it's just it's basically just a storage place, right? It's just a place where people can come, and it's a collection of jobs, and people can go and apply for them. Like, that's fine, whatever. Those people can go and do that, and then it's up to the company to do their due diligence in selecting the right person, whatever.
Okay.
What we do is we have or what we're trying to do is create a community. So
Okay.
can these businesses post jobs on here, they can also try and interact with their community. Also, they can create groups, they can create their own business profile. We want it to, yes, yes, it's a job board, but that is not the main focus. And I think that businesses will be able to get a lot more out of this, because they'd be able to post the position, as well as be able to get feedback from their community instantly.
Okay, so it's not just a place where companies can find candidates and maybe get a little bit more detail about who they are, but if somebody has a thought and an idea and they want to speak to specific professionals about an issue, then what your site is working on and building is a community of those
Exactly.
people, right? So if I wanted to if I wanted to find five designers and go, I don't understand what it is about design that is so hard. I can't find quality people. What am I missing? And so basically they go into the community and they talk to designers, and the designers say, what you're looking for, you're actually looking for the wrong thing. What you want is this. So what it seems like to me is that it provides an opportunity for an educational exchange, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, let's put it into context, right? So say you're working for the Game House, right?
Yes.
And you potentially may be looking for other people to do an interview with. Now, I mean, you could go out there, you could try and find those people of your own accord, or you could come into the community, maybe set up a specific group for these people, maybe even just post on your profile, I am looking for people who'd be interested in doing, and get that instant feedback from that. That's kind of what we're trying to do, is just be an all-in-one hub for professionals, for enthusiasts, for people that just want to chill with their friends, for big companies looking for candidates. I really don't see why we need to limit ourselves by targeting a specific audience, when esports is so ingrained, especially now in the kids of today, who are growing up with esports as being in their lives a lot more than the older generation. And I think having all those communities and having that community feedback, and I think it's beneficial for everyone involved.
Got it. Okay, so the site is launched. You have your first update like today, this exact day, and you right, and then you're building this building this interactive community. So going forward now, the next 3 to 6 to 9 months, what sort of changes to the site? What sort of changes to the site do you expect to have?
Oh man, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Like, there's so many things that we could possibly do. We have ideas of like a direction we want to go in. There's smaller features that I want to sort of implement. Right now, for applying for jobs, it's not that easy. I want it to be I want it to be where you see a job, you click it, and you apply with your profile, because that's the whole point of it, right? Like, you have your profile there with everything already set up. You don't want to be going through, putting in all this information again, sending off a CV, like everything's there. So that for me is sort of like the next step in the short term, is making those job applications a lot easier for people. And more sort of like community interactivity, if that's possible. I'd love to, we've had talks about bringing in a live chat feature, and that I think could be a good. Obviously, there's a lot of security issues with that, but that's something that we'd look at doing if possible. But yeah, man, I mean, the sky is literally the limit. It's a blank canvas, right? And
Right.
we would love, I mean, what we'd love to do is for the community to decide. I mean, that would be, great if community be like, oh, this would be good to bring in, this would be good to implement, because we're all ears, and we're totally open to new suggestions and new ideas. This is, a passion of mine, and it's been created from frustration of my own, of not being able to have all your information and all my amazing clips that I've got and all of my amazing interviews that I've done with Bill. And, it's like, I want all them together, all in one place. So that's sort of what this is. And it's very community focused, community driven. And that's sort of what I'd like to have for the future, is that the community can decide what direction the website goes in.
Interesting that you say it that way, because it's something. It's funny because it's a theme that I've been running into lately in some of my interviews. Is that what the entrepreneur, what the business owner thinks is a problem is most of the time not even what the community says that they want.
Yeah.
So you have to build the interactive community that trusts you, and that's an important aspect too. Your community has to trust you, that you're not gonna screw with them, that you're gonna take them seriously when they bring up issues. And what they want, or what they think they want, is also something to consider. What they think they want versus what you want, and it's a very subtle dance that you have to play as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. So sort of talk about what that means for you as a business owner, because you obviously have a vision. You know what you want it to look like. You know what you want it to be at some point. And then you have the community behind you. And I always say this to people. I go, so when back here in the USA, when cars were first invented, if you ask people what they wanted, they would say that they want faster horses. So how do you take what the community wants and still be sort of innovative at the same time? You know what I mean?
The key is to just leave enough space to take on what the community wants, as well as sort of like trying to see your own vision through. And I mean, obviously there's a line there. Like, if the community say, we don't want this to be about esports anymore, we want this to be a website dedicated to dogs, I'd be like, well, that's not really what we're trying to do here. Like, obviously that's that's when I'd step in
Right.
and so, but in terms of what they want, in terms of like the features they want implemented, I always think that you should community feedback is a big thing, and it's something that should not be overlooked, no matter who you are, no matter what sort of vision you have as an entrepreneur. You should always take your community feedback and then and work with that. So yeah, that's sort of my mantra. That's something that I want. That's something that I will value going forward, and hopefully we won't be having this conversation about a website dedicated to dogs in the near future.
Well, okay, so now your life as an entrepreneur, I'm sure over the past several months, many months back, you're running from basically fire to fire to fire, trying to put fires out and solving problems, because that's what you do. So is this? I mean, with this launch and the update, are you feeling some sort of a relief, maybe, or is it just, or is it just the next level of stress?
It's funny because I kind of like the stress, and I think if you ever get to that point where you feel relieved, you've lost, right? I'm always trying to better myself. Before this website, I'd never really had much run-ins with running websites. So it's been a real big experience for me as well, coming from that background of running an esports organization to running a community-driven website. It was a big step, and it was a challenge, but it was something that I wanted to do. It wasn't something that I shied away from, and I think if you ever get to that point where you feel content, then you've kind of lost the battle. So, my sort of focus now is trying to find that next challenge, right? Like within this website, I want to try and find, the next update that I want to bring in, the next feature that they told me is impossible to do that I want to do, and that's sort of like my focus. But yeah, I mean, it's strange. You do kind of get used to the stress, and you miss it when it's not there. When I go on vacation, I can't just like chill out. I've got to do some sort of work, like it's impossible for me to just relax. So yeah.
Believe me, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel you on this, and I pray that there's a time that comes where you can be like, okay, I don't have to do 90 things today. I can only do 20 things today and still feel accomplished, still feel like everything's on the right track, everything's going the way that it's supposed to go. Paul, thanks very much for making time for me today. I know that you're a busy guy. I know that there's a massive time zone difference between you and me, and in case people wonder, it's a 9-hour difference almost. It's almost 9 hours. So just remember that when you're talking to someone across the world, you might be sitting in front of sitting at your desk in your underwear, and your friend might be sitting at a restaurant having dinner. So just remember that. So Paul, thanks for making time for me today, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bill, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for waking up early and speaking to me today. I really do appreciate it.
No problem, my friend. Everybody check out esportworks.co.uk. That's the site. You could build yourself a profile, start interacting. You can be on the quests and get all those achievements. Also check out on Twitter at esportworks. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. If you love this content and the other stuff that I put out on the Game Haus YouTube channel, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.